Welcome back to Malta Archery, back from Germany. It was an awesome course. Thank you again, guys, for being so awesome. So today we have something very small, but very precious from Custom Thumb Rings. I posted already the photo because I could not resist, and unboxing is quite simple. See what you get. It's a fancy box. You open it. Inside you find some pieces of foam. And you find this awesome piece of art. And for this, of course, I have to show you some close-ups because look at this. Isn't that pretty? So, now let's talk about this thing. This is a Seer. It's an overdraw device. And look, it's written, Armin Hirmer, thank you for all you do for the community. Custom Thumb Rings. So nice. So, Seer, Turkish, Arab overdraw device. Seer means actually only shield, and it's simply when you have it on that you can draw shorter arrows with your bow, and it was mostly used for flight archery, that you can shoot very lightweight, very short, lightweight arrows, and you can draw a little more. They were made out of horn and sea turtle back and whatever. Here we have some kind of plastic. The inside here, the groove, this hollow part, you see this one, is covered with leather, and the shield itself is a nice wood with nice decoration. And then you have this triangular leather strap, and now we will figure, first time I put it on, how we wear it. For this, to make your life easier, you can put the shield off. Then you need to strap this one. You simply need to imagine where your arrow would be. And there you put this one on. So first of all you tie the wrist thingy. The leather is quite thin, so for a one person thing, but it works. And you want to make sure that it really sits tight. That's already the last hole because I have so delicate wrists. So then of course you put it in the other one here. Now go through, come on, one-handed. So, and when you have this, you attach this, put it through underneath, and pull it tight. So that's all you have to do. So I'll make some kind of knot there. So, see that? Now it sits tight and firm on my wrist as it's supposed to be. And then you can put the shield back on. Of course you can mount it with the shield on, it doesn't matter. So, but how to use this? First of all, people always think snake bows, you can't use them for anything. But I think, and today we will try it, if you can use the snake for shooting an overdraw device. So the first thing what you see now is, the first thing you see when you hold the bow normal. See? Then it doesn't affect it. So what you need to do is this high wrist grip. Show you from the other side, maybe it's better. The high wrist grip, so it's simply, you want to make sure that your wrist here is one line, and then you need to hold the bow like this, and you have here the open gap. If you have a higher draw weight, you can wrap some wax cloth around that you can hold it easier, but this is the way how you hold it. And you need to make sure, of course, that the Seer is on this side of your string. And that's all you need to take care. This is now a 29-inch arrow, and the bow could draw a little more. So you come here, you make sure that you have your high wrist grip from the front. Don't press the arrow too much, otherwise the arrow will go on this side. So when you overdraw, you need to be really careful. Tip is dirty, so it's not nice. So high wrist grip, arrow on, My first shot ever with a Seer. So, high wrist grip. You overdraw. See, you overdraw, you overdraw. Boom. And you can draw more. I wish this would be a little more there. So, but we get there. So, another 29 inch. High wrist. See, overdraw, overdraw until you reach here your whatever length of arrow you have, and that you still are safe in the groove. And now you see why the shield is down there, just in case the arrow comes off, that you don't shoot in your hand. So these were now 29-inch arrows, slightly overdrawn. Now I shoot 27-inch arrows, and you see you can do this all with your snake bow. Later we see how it will work with a proper bow. But you know, in Germany they told me then, I don't tell you. So see, this is now 27. I can draw way more back and shoot. So with a Seer, of course, you get only 2, 3, maximum 4 inches of more draw. If you want to shoot short arrows, you need to use a Majra, which we will check soon. Soon in the cinema. Stay tuned. See? Once you get the hang of it, of this high wrist grip, it's a little different than you usually shoot, I think. And this works really, really easy. So, with a snake bow, no problem. See that? Good. And now, let's try it with a pretty bow. So now high wrist grip. And make sure that this thing is on the right side. Would be easier on the left. Let's see. Oh, this bow is heavier. So, so. That was normal. Oh, this is a long arrow. What I can tell so far, it's not easy. It takes practice, and when you practice it, really take a very, very low draw weight pound, because just in case you make here something wrong, like I just did, and you take a heavy bow. This is what you end up with. Now I look like a completely nerd, a complete beginner, because I have a bruise like. But hey, anyway, this is how you learn. And this is completely new to me. So I tied it now a slightly bit different, that I have it more on the right side, because I don't want to have my wrist over there. Can overdraw. Still, it needs really practice. So, but of course it was meant for flight shooting, so you draw then up there, but I don't do that because my range is too small. This high wrist grip is a little, feels for me a bit uncomfortable, but we get used to it. You know, I like to hold the bow with these 3 fingers, you know that. So this is now complete the other way around. You have to have your wrist completely straight. And you also need to make sure that this groove is really on the other side. And when you bend it too much, like I have to do, that I get my channel here on this side, then my arm is too far in. So with a straight arm, you end up with a bruise. But it works, so you can easy overdraw and shoot. So there are now, of course, there are recommendations that you don't want to move this hand while you release, or you do your katra, so you see both ways. So you see the ones that are then standing there and don't move at all, and the others make sure that the bow is out of the way, because it's really dangerous. You have the arrow behind your bow, so I would really do some kind of katra, because when you stand here straight and the arrow comes behind the bow, it's dangerous. I would always do some kind of twisting movement and maybe even release with this hand. Yeah, but this you get. Yeah, you can make it work. It takes, I guess, a little time to practice. And for this, there's definitely a learning curve, and seriously, take a very light draw weight bow with a high brace height, so that you avoid this. And then the only thing what you need to change, you don't hold the bow like you would maybe normally do, high wrist. And this is straight. And the only issue for me is now to get this, so I need to hold the bow almost like this, and I get this channel here on the correct side. And of course, when you draw a lightweight arrow and you overdraw your bow now with this, always still make sure that you're in the range of your recommended arrow weight for your bow. So don't think now, okay, you know, and overdraw and overdo it. We come to this when we do the review of the measurer. So, but for this, as you can see, you can overdraw 3-4 inches. But that's quite something. I mean, you get really something out of it. When you see this bow does 32 inches, 27-inch arrow, and you can get really a lot more out of it, see? Day 2 of the Seer video. I made now slight adjustments how I put it on my hand, because I need to get this closer to my thumb knuckle here. So I strapped it now way further in front. Feels a little uncomfortable for me, but every hand is different, so most probably this is a little an issue. So what I mentioned was short brace head doesn't work, and I wanted to try the Tatar bow today. But when you see that, even with the high wrist, look, this thing is here and the string will touch, so I can't shoot the Tatar bow with this. I can't get it all over on the side there, so it's not going to work. So no Tatar, but we try now again, shoot simply the snake. High wrist grip, and now it looks better. See, now it feels almost comfortable to have it here on this side, and I don't have to bend my wrist too much and get my, you know, my forearm in the way. So let's see how this will work. Now first we shoot 29-inch arrows. High wrist grip. So see, and now I can easy overdraw and I feel safe. And I can shoot. That feels now way better. So you really need to find the proper place for this device, and then it works. And then you're even accurate. Of course, now short distance, and it was not meant to be short distance for flight shooting, but we had this already. Works now really good. Again, 29 inches. Inches? Do you say that? Look, like this. Now you can overdraw easy. I have the arrow on the nice on the right side. You could even do, you know, when you shoot now, when you think in Ottoman terms, you can get even really fast. Look, it's no problem. You can reload fast, and you have it here again, aligned and all with overdraw. So no problem. Now let's shoot 27 inches. Then you see the overdraw more crucial. See that? I can draw back there. I draw this arrow now. I draw now 30 inches and shoot the 27-inch arrow, and that's cool. So today it works. I only had to find the right place. So I first thought I put it directly around my wrist, but it didn't work. I need to get it closer here. I wanted to have it here as close as possible to the bow and a bit more on the side. And now it works. Look, I can overdraw this arrow like nothing, and it works. It's so fine. It's so fine. And the oil, I mean, of course, no short distance. And then the thing is, I read somewhere, don't move your bow hand. And then you see a video like from Ivar Valde, he really makes a wild katra. So I think doing a slight katra is better, because you still have this thing here. You clear the arrow path. So for me, I would always shoot this katra. And when you think flight shooting was always meant to get the most out of it, so you really want to do katra and snap release, that you really snap this arrow away as hard as possible. When you stand there and you let go, you know, we have this, I call it now again momentum. You had another word, but I don't care. For me it's momentum, that when you stand in a freezing position and you let go, everything needs to start from zero movement. When you do the snap movement, then you get way more out of it. That's why I think you should do katra. And when it's now here on this side and I do katra, when you shoot now without moving, so of course you can do that. But I don't know. For me it still feels better. Doing a katra. And the result on the target is the same. But it feels better, and I clear the pass for the arrow, which is for me way more important. As you know, Archer's Paradox and all this stuff. See, you can, with your wrist, you can adjust now when you draw further back, that the arrow is still, that the tip is still on the thingy. And I don't hit myself anymore because I placed it now proper. I should have done this yesterday already. So look, with a shorter arrow I can draw way back, but then I want to make sure that the arrow is out of that the bow is out of the way. Look, one more time. No katra. Works too, but I'm a little worried that the arrow might get stuck behind the bow. So for me katra, but I'm a katra shooter, as you know. And it works really great. Today I like it. Yesterday I didn't like it, but today it's fine. Look, you can draw back there with your wrist. You can adjust here where your arrow is. Boom, and a nice katra, and everything is. Oh, all tips are loose. What's going on here? Yeah, today it works. Nice. And once you get the hang a little of it, always make sure that you hold the bow in the right position again. Of course you need to make sure that you hold the bow a little lower, because you need to compensate for this. So you can't hold it where you normally hold it, because then the arrow might be a little too high and then everything here is out of alignment. So you need to grab the arrow a bit lower, the bow of course, that you get then your arrow rest where it's supposed to be. And then I have to say, it's actually quite fun to overthrow arrows. Yes, yeah, it's Friday, you know. Shh. Well, don't get sloppy. Always make sure that the arrow stays on the right side. Still a little tricky. It needs definitely practice, but what you need, or at least what I needed, was to put this thing really, that the top of this is almost on this main knuckle here of my thumb. So I have the strap already going. I didn't tie it now properly because I only did this. Then you tie this here down. I have it already on the hand, so not on the wrist anymore. Already over the hand there. But it works. You still can hold your bow, and then you have it on the right side, and then bing, 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 bing. Works fantastico. That's nice. One more time. Yep, but this thing needs to be, for my taste, closer there. It still doesn't feel overly comfortable, but it works. Oh, but you don't want to start with a 40 pound. It's quite simple. When you do something new, always take a low poundage bow. In snake we trust. And we had it last weekend in a 3D parkour, 22 pound snake. Was of course not the best bow, but did quite well. So here it's easier, see, then you can adjust here. You don't have to think about the poundage. And it works. Hoo-ha! That's all I have to say. It's a very interesting item, so everybody who is into traditional Turkish, Ottoman and whatever, go away, archery, should try it once. For me, the leather strap should go a little further back, that I have it around my wrist, and then with this one I can pull it forward and around my thumb and adjust it accordingly. As when I have it back there, look, I show you how I had it in the beginning. In the beginning I had it back there and it was a little too far away. So when I move it more forward, at least for me, it feels more safe and secure. I don't know how it was in reality, but this is how it works for me. And as I always said, find the right gear that works for you and find the right position of the gear that it works for you. And now it works for me and now it's fun. Still need to practice with higher poundages and different bows, but it works. It's an interesting piece, but it needs practice. So, and really don't start with 40 pounds because then you worry about that the tip stays outside of the bow, and yeah, I didn't think about my arm, but you know, stupid me sometimes. Interesting piece for me, it would be, yeah, but should be like this. This one would have more an angle backwards, better for me, but this is my hand. So, and to of course adjust this individually is quite tough, but you need to play around. You find the right position for your Seer, and then it works great. Then you see already some scratches here, wear and tear. It's a really interesting item. So I put the link in the description to custom thumb rings. There you can get one, and I mean they are really pieces of art anyway. So that's from this one. The next overdraw item will be then the Majora, you know, this half pipe which is extremely long, and we might, if I find some, might even shoot some crossbow bolts with it, because some say it was meant to shoot crossbow bolts. I see if I have some, if not I take some very, very short arrows and then we see how we get from there. So that's all. Thank you again, Custom Thumb Ring Archery, for sending this to me, and especially for this nice here. Armin Hirmer, thank you for all you do for the community. I really, you know, touches my heart. Thank you very much for watching. Now I have no table here. Catch you in the next one. Thank you.